if Stylus were made of potatoes? Would it work? Short answer is yes. I've tried it before. If I have it still, here's a video of me and my cousins using one. PNG Frank number 2 here. Yeah, he actually doesn't have the video. I guess he deleted it or something. Too bad. As a stylist. And I know what you're thinking. Holding on to this big, ginormous potato, writing stuff on, doesn't really... It's not ethical, you know? I mean, imagine how hard this would be to just use to write stuff on. So it wouldn't work, right? Or it wouldn't be good to use, right? Over a normal stylist. Well, the problem is, this stylus right here, it completely just sucks. It's not good at all. I can barely write on that thing. So, I know what you're thinking. So the next best thing is a potato. Yes. Yes, the next best thing is a potato. However, I think it would be pretty hard to use it just like this, you know? Just writing stuff down just like that, you know? Because the potato, it's massive, you know? It's ginormous. So, I was thinking, what if I made this potato actually look like a stylist and still work? And I know what you're thinking, well, I mean, then wouldn't it rot? I mean, because you had to cut it and stuff, so it would rot. I was thinking the exact same thing. So you know what we're going to do? Lemon juice. We're going to soak this thing in lemon juice, and then we're going to cut it, and then we're going to do whatever other magic we need to do to turn this into a stylus. I'd like to introduce you guys to the potato stylist. And just like that, I began by grabbing my potato cutter, my actual potato, and then I went to go get a bag of my citrusy lemons. Look, magnificent. Grab my bowl, and my potato again. So I began cutting it, and eventually I knocked my phone over. Yeah, not really that good, but yeah. And so I started cutting it down even more. A lot more. Half the footage was even here because I forgot to hit record, but there we go. There's more of it, I guess. The biggest part is cutting this and making it look like an actual stylist. So there we go. As you can see, it's starting to look way more like, you know, an actual stylist. Like, look, that's believable, right? You can believe I can write on that, right? I think so. But yeah, it needed to be way more thinner. So I just started cutting it even more and more until we got to here. You know, very bendy. I thought I had to put like a stick in it or something, but I guess I didn't. Because it ended up working without one. And so, I think we got the finished product right here. I decided to throw away the aftermath, you know, because we don't need that. We don't need any of it. Then, after I threw that away, I took out my lemons, you know. I decided to use, like, I believe, I used 1.5 lemons, like 1.5 lemon juice. I didn't know really how much lemon juice I needed for this, but yeah, I just went for 1.5, so there we go, we just squeezed them lemons. Yeah. After putting all the lemon juice in the freaking bowl, I decided to add a little bit of water in there. I also stirred up the lemon juice in there. And then after I added the water, potato in the water, then I just put it in the fridge, closed it, and kept it in the fridge for around 24 hours. Hey P&G Frank, what do you think about the potato stylist? Okay, screw you. You're never on my side with any of this stuff. You never hope for my hopes and dreams, do you, P&G Frank? Okay, screw you. Get out of here. Alright. Time to show y'all what y'all been waiting for. Alright, it's the next day, and I'm gonna speed through this whole process. So, I grab the container, take the potato out. It's freezing cold. I dry it off. After I dry it off, I decide to cut it and make the end part, the part where you actually write with, I decide to make it actually look more like a stylus. So it's just not like a, after I do that, I end up cutting myself right here, and then I end up wrapping it in aluminum. That way it has a higher chance of, not rotting or anything. Which I should have probably wrapped it a little more in aluminum. And you'll see why at the end of this video. Look at how cool this thing is. It's an actual stylus made of a potato. And this actually does feel pretty good to hold. I mean, it's pretty big, not gonna lie. I would maybe prefer it to be a little thinner. I might make a sequel to this and, make it a little bit more smaller so it feels better to hold, but it doesn't feel that bad to hold and use. Like, while setting this up, I was actually using it to freaking set things up. So, and you know what? I'm gonna show you some of the footage of what I use because I have a feeling that you guys don't believe me that this actually works. This needs to be what stylists are. We need to start doing this. Making them into potatoes. I mean, this is just so easy to make. So, why are all these companies doing this? I mean, let's be real here. I mean, and hold on, I'm gonna take it out real quick. It works way better than this freaking stylus that I have. Like, this thing absolutely sucks. Like, sometimes when I'm using it, it doesn't actually work correctly. Like, it doesn't actually move anything, or it's not detected. This works 100% of the time. No more. Potato stylus from now on. I'm a firm believer in this. Firm believer. Potato stylus for the win. Alright, I'm going to show you the footage of me using it. Okay, so if you're wondering why the quality of the video just went down like 500, like it just went down to like, 540 or something, I'm using my other phone to record this. This is the phone I usually use to record these stuff, but I mean, I want to show you this thing actually working, so I need to use my other phone for it. This is actually a previous phone that I used to work on some of my other videos. I'll get into that all later. Anyways. Got my potato stylus. Looky looky. Looky looky at my bookie. And how do I do this? Okay, so just like look at this. Look at this. Let's go on YouTube real quick.
Like, see, it works.
Giant blue Dorito, giant red Dorito, giant green Dorito.
Look, we can, we can just, like, there we go. Just commented something. I'm about to flip the screen so y'all can see it, but look, I'm about to leave a comment on something. There you go. I just left a comment.
No reaction.
So as you can see, it really does just work.
Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and eventually the tip of my potato stylus ended up rotting, and so I couldn't use it anymore. I didn't want to get any of that nasty goo on my phone, so I ended up doing the only thing I could do. I had to throw it away. It's unfortunate, but not everything lasts forever. So yeah, subscribe and turn on notifications because I definitely want to make a part 2 to this to where I can make it last even longer. And this time I'm probably going to cover the entire thing in aluminum because whenever I covered it, everything else stayed the same, everything else stayed fine, but that top part didn't last long. So, next part, I will make sure to cover up everything. In the part 2 of the potato stylist, it will live on.